What's up, everybody? GeauxBurns, welcoming you to another episode of my Discuss series. Today, we're discussing fixing Grand Theft Auto Online, and I realize that chances are Rockstar is not going to come across this video, and even if somebody did, I seriously doubt that any of this stuff will ever be resolved. Hopefully it will be, because a lot of it is stuff that not just you guys have brought up, but many other content creators and fans of Grand Theft Auto Online. But the game has been around for over 3 years now, launched in October 2013, which means coming this October, 4 years. That's right, 4 years of Grand Theft Auto Online. But there are some issues, obviously, and let's get to it, shall we? We're going to go alphabetically this time. By the way, I gave you guys an opportunity to submit your ideas for fixing Grand Theft Auto Online last week via the comment section, Twitter, or Facebook. So thank you to everybody that took the time to submit your ideas for fixing Grand Theft Auto Online. First off, we are going with, well, Chris off of Facebook. Alphabetical order. Chris goes first because he was the first one alphabetically, because we didn't have an A, we didn't have a B, so we got to go with the C. I prefer they move their focus back to single-player DLC for a moment instead of shark card grabs. Admittedly, I've never taken Grand Theft Auto Online. Blasphemy, I know. But let's see. I still find myself replaying the core game quite often. My worry is that this online microtransaction focus model will be used in Red Dead Redemption 2, a.k.a. Red Dead Online. And yeah, I know a lot of Grand Theft Auto fans would have liked at least a 1 or maybe 2 or 3 story DLCs. That was the rumor, that we were going to get a story DLC for each character, a Michael story DLC, a Trevor DLC, and a Franklin DLC. That's the rumor, at least. Don't know if it's true or not, but what we do know is that they were planning on doing at least 1 story DLC, and they ultimately changed their mind because of how popular Grand Theft Auto Online was and how much money they were making off of shark cards. So those 2 reasons left, the fate of single-player DLC in Grand Theft Auto 5 sealed. And I hope that doesn't end up being the same case for Red Dead Redemption 2. Hopefully we might get maybe, I don't know, an Undead Nightmare 2. That'd be kind of cool. But at the same time, I feel the same way you do, Chris, and as many others, regarding the fear that microtransactions are going to continue to be a thing for future Rockstar games. And we talked about this in a previous rant video regarding the CEO of Take-Two, Strauss Zelnick. He's talked about how his games are under microtransactioned, which means, unfortunately, any developer under Take-Two, which includes Rockstar, 2K, Hangar 13, future games will probably see more microtransactioning. And I fear that's going to be the case with Red Dead Online as well. But yes, I would have definitely liked them to scale back a little bit on the microtransactioning, the as you call it, the shark card grabs, because lately it seems very, very obvious, as I pointed out in previous videos concerning gun running, as well as research in gun running. So thanks for the submission, Chris. Next we go to Elaine off of Twitter. She came up with a few. I allowed her to come up with 2 or 3. She asked me could she do more because, 1 wasn't enough for her. So because, Elaine, you're special, I will allow you to have more than 1 submission. I just didn't want novels, okay? That's why I was trying to limit people. But Elaine, I don't really have to worry about that. Here's what she had to say off of Twitter. Create public lobbies for passive players. Increase payout for associates. And give associate discounts for MOC, CEO, etc. and missions. So, yeah, I think that there should be public lobbies where players that are friendly can go into. I mean, in Red Dead Redemption multiplayer, there are several types of public lobbies, including friendly lobbies, in which you can go in there and you can goof off with other players, friends and strangers, form posses. And I think it's set to where you cannot fight or kill each other, where you can only fight and kill NPCs like bandits, outlaws, even townsfolk of Blackwater or Armadillo, or even the lawmen that come after you as a result. So yeah, I think that would be a good solution to the public issue in lobbies, because a lot of people don't like going into public lobbies because of the fact that they're getting griefed, myself included. I don't like the idea of going and doing a crate run or doing trying to pick up supplies or doing a drop off from my bunker in a public lobby or doing an import export. And not only do I have to worry about the NPCs coming after me, but also another player that may or may not decide to come kill me in their Hydra or their Savage or their Buzzard. So even though we are forced to be in public lobbies to do these various jobs, I still think that at the same time Rockstar should throw the community a bone and set up public lobbies for friendlies. Whereas you could go into a friendly public lobby, still do the same stuff that we can do in a regular public lobby, but at the same time without the fear of being griefed by another player. I realize that's an aspect of the game you have to deal with, but at the same time, I mean, when you put all this time and effort and money into your warehouses, into your biker club businesses, into import-exporting cars, as well as the bunker, yeah, I just think that there should be, at the very least, like Elaine said, a friendly public lobby for passive players that don't want to go around just simply killing and murdering each other and griefing each other. And I do agree with everything else you said. There should be associate discounts as well for the MOC, CEO work, as well as missions, specifically for MCOs. Like, to buy a bunker is expensive, but you also need an MCO in order to get the Mark II weapons, as well as the vehicles that came with the gun running update. And you can purchase those vehicles without a bunker or an MOC, my bad. But you cannot have any customization or upgrades for those vehicles without an MOC. So at the very least, if you were an associate or a bodyguard or a member of a biker club, that should be one of the perks. As long as you're in that biker club or in that organization, you should have the ability to access your boss's MOC. It's something I've talked about once or twice, along with some other discounts as well, like the mobile operations. For the mobile operations, you have where you have to have help in order to accomplish the mobile operations, but only you get the discount, while your associates, your bodyguards, your biker crew, they get jacked. They only get like $15,000, $16,000 in the game. So yeah, I think that needs to change as well. Thank you so much, Elaine, for that submission. Next, we are going to go down the line to, let's see, who is next on our list? Okay, we got right here. Okay, cool. I'm still learning OBS. I'm getting better at OBS, but I still got a ways to go. All right, also off of Twitter, it is Jordan, Mr. Burns. Man, I'm feeling so professional today. Mr. Burns, I feel they should make it easier to make more money and pay associates better. And this is basically tying into what Elaine was talking about a moment ago. Better discounts, better perks for the associates, bodyguards, biker club members, extra incentive for them to actually want to be part of a biker club or be an associate for a CEO or for a VIP, for example. And yeah, I have mentioned this a few times as well, that I think that the average payout, which is I think $4,000 or $5,000 every few minutes or so, really isn't that much money. Plus, if, for example, you go and you do something in free mode, like rob a liquor store, or you steal a car and you sell it at Los Santos Customs for money, like one of the special vehicles, like the muscle cars that spawn randomly at Los Santos Customs in Rockford Hills, or like one of the Sentinels at night near, Eclipse Towers. Those fetch a little bit more than the average, vehicle that drive around that you can actually steal and sell. And unfortunately, the CEO, the biker club MC, or the VIP you're working for while you do this is getting a cut of that. And it's not really that much money anyways. So it's compounded by the fact that you're not really going to get that much money. Maybe if you're lucky to find the rare light blue Dominator that spawns occasionally once every blue moon at Los Santos Customs in Rockford Hills, that fetches you maybe $20,000. So at the best you could hope for is maybe $10,000. If you are at the same time working for a CEO or a MC president or a VIP. So that kind of sucks. But yes, I agree, Jordan. Payouts should definitely be higher for associates, bodyguards, and MC crew members. All right. Next on the list, hopefully we won't miss anybody. I double, tripled, quadruple checked everything a couple days ago just to make sure that I got everybody's submission. And if I miss somebody, I do apologize. It happens. Noose, I'd love it if Rockstar fixed the AI. Sometimes I think Rockstar deliberately made it so the AI runs us over. Yeah, so the AI in the game, and this is not just a problem with Grand Theft Auto Online. This is an issue in a lot of games. The AI is not particularly smart, the NPCs. They're programmed to do a basic set of things, like in Grand Theft Auto Online. They're programmed to drive around. They're programmed to walk around if they're walking around. They're programmed to talk shit to you or carry on a conversation on their cell phone with somebody else to give it kind of like a vibe of it actually being a real environment, a real world that is Grand Theft Auto 5 and Grand Theft Auto Online. And maybe it is. You never know. But whenever you do certain things in the game, the AI seems to react in certain ways, usually in a hostile manner. Like, obviously, if you point a gun at AI, they freak out, they run the other way. Or if you bump into certain AIs, some of them, will just, they'll drop their cell phone or drop their beverage, or they'll see it as active aggression. So it's kind of cool to see that variety. But it is kind of interesting that, you will have AIs run you over even if you're like just crossing a normal street. But at the same time, I would argue that this happens in real life, even on a normal intersection. I'm not talking about the interstate or the GOH in Grand Theft Auto Online. I'm talking about like just a regular street corner, in a neighborhood. Somebody's not paying attention, texting, then all of a sudden, bam, they hit somebody that was just crossing the street. I mean, it happens, unfortunately. So, yeah, I think that in a way, it kind of adds some realism to Grand Theft Auto Online to have AIs, aka NPCs, do that. But at the same time, it is kind of annoying. And it is just another prime example of how, quote-unquote, dumb NPCs are. I mean, it's going to take a while before they make NPCs smarter to where they can, have different types of reactions. And I think that's a lot of code and a lot of programming. And, it's probably very difficult for even Rockstar to do. But I think they've gotten better with their AIs and their NPCs over time. And sometimes it's a little too good when it comes to the aiming of some of the NPCs, especially in missions or like heists. They seem to be a little bit better at shooting and killing you than regular police or NPCs. Thanks for the submission, Noose, off of Twitter. Next, let's see who we got next on our list. I think we got Phoenix off of Facebook. Everything. Thanks, Phoenix. Appreciate that. Jeez. I did say one thing, and I did kind of like bend the rules a little for Elaine. But that's because it's Elaine for you, all right? I want to stay on Elaine's good side. See, next on our list, I think we've reached, Sedan with another novel. All the more reason why I was trying to limit, try to limit to like one thing, But still, others like to be very detailed, and I didn't want to be here all day. All right, so Sedan, how to fix Grand Theft Auto Online. I had an entire list. See, he had an entire list. Thanks to me, I thought ahead. I planned ahead. I knew that this would happen, including all the Grand Theft Auto 4 cars I still want. But I think the most important fix to Grand Theft Auto Online would be to heavily slash the prices and or increase how quickly you can earn money in the game. Grand Theft Auto Online often feels like less a game and more a job where you want a specific vehicle. You end up grinding the same few jobs for hours just to afford it. The same goes for the annoying fact that if you want to make big bucks, you really need to be a CEO, and you really need to have the import-export garage, an armored car, and helicopter of some sort. The fact that you have to grind to get millions, even to get started, these seemingly necessary tools to get better at making money is really annoying. Shark cards are and were intended to be, get you going money so you could pay a few real bucks to afford necessary starting equipment in the game. I'd be happy to see Rockstar allow us to make good money doing things like working for CEO or being part of a biker club so that those of us who want to work with friends actually make money so that someday we can afford to be CEOs. Also, the semi aside, but still keep the same fundamental idea. Let us do CEO gun running VIP biker work in an invite-only lobby. If you're going to make us keep earning money at a pitifully slow rate, at least let us do it without some 12-year-old in a supercar ruin all of your work with a single sticky bomb. I agree wholeheartedly, Sedan. or at the very least what Elaine said a moment ago with, a passive or friendly public lobbies as an alternative to the regular public lobbies. And in conclusion, or, just add the Esperanto, aka Roman's Taxi, and I'd probably play the game 110% more frequently. That's all it would take, is to give you Roman's Taxi, and then you could drive around cosplaying as Roman and going, hey, it's your cousin Roman, let's go bowling. That's all it would take to make Sedan happy. It's the simple things. I love that car for all the wrong reasons, and sorry, GB, for not picking research, but I think the vast inflation and shitty economic balance in Grand Theft Auto Online is far more criminal. Look, I didn't expect anyone to pick research, and I just cited that as an example last week at the end of the previous Discuss video. And, yeah, but, good points. I definitely think that there should be overall better payouts for everything, for heists, for contact missions. In fact, I feel like the contact missions, I don't know, it's just my opinion. I could be wrong about this, but I feel like that they have actually been lowered a little bit since the gun running update. I hope I'm wrong about that, but I feel that. I feel like we don't get as much. It's only like a few $1,000s less, but still, it does feel like that the contact missions have been lowered price-wise. And as others have pointed out, I do also think that associates, bodyguards, and MC crew members should be paid considerably more than they currently are. Thanks, Sedan. Next, we are going to, let's see, who we got next on our list? We got Steven off of Twitter. I'd like them to fix the inflation personally. The game has gotten too far expensive. Gamer Dane seconds that. So basically, seconding and thirding exactly what Sedan was talking about. So there's definitely a lot of people that have an issue with the inflation system in Grand Theft Auto Online. And I think around the end of the year 2016, I did or was it the beginning of 2017? It was around that time I did an inflation rant video regarding this very issue. So thank you, Steven and Gamer Dame, for your input. And who do we have next? Next on the list is the Vanilla Gorilla, also off of Twitter. I would like to see Rockstar fix their payouts. I'm kind of annoyed to do Rooftop Rumble 4 or 5 times and come out with 50, 60 grand. Not really good. So I guess you could say this is a fourth, vote for, increased payouts in Grand Theft Auto Online. Just like I was talking about, it really does feel like, to me personally, that we're not getting paid out as much as we used to in contact missions. I could be wrong about that. Or we're, at the very least, not getting paid as much as we could, especially with how much more expensive things are in the game and how many things there are to buy in the game, like the yachts, the executive offices, executive garages. You can buy up to 3 of those, plus all the customization, along with, the warehouses, the vehicle warehouses, the biker clubhouse, along with the biker businesses, and the bunker. The list goes on and on. So there's a lot more things to buy, and it's a lot more expensive. So overall, I do agree with you guys that they should raise the price on everything. Like, they should make missions where you get more money. They should make heists where you get more money. They should make even the small things, like robbing liquor stores, like I did in the live stream the other day with Flassy. Yeah, on Saturday. Yeah, we were just robbing liquor stores at the beginning just to kill some time before some more people showed up. But yeah, they should raise the prices overall. We have an inflation issue where things are very more expensive in the game. Then I think that would be a good solution where you're getting paid more for Rooftop Rumble than what you are for, the current amount, because it's really not that much compared to how expensive stuff currently is in Grand Theft Auto Online. So thank you, Vanilla, for that submission. And I think we have two more. Okay. All right. Next, we are going to, let's see, William off of YouTube. Let's see. I am not a big Grand Theft Auto 5 fan, as I get bored with it a lot. But a good feature is the casino. Like, if you put in like $1,000, if you win the game, you receive like I guess $100,000 or $1 million. If you put in more, okay, I get the idea. I mean, this is one of the things that's been rumored about for a while now, William, is the possibility that we would sooner or later get a casino-themed DLC, which would include the casino, which has been sitting there waiting to open soon forever. And as somebody who enjoys playing poker, in fact, I do have a new episode of Prominence Poker coming up probably Friday. Coming up this Friday. Just getting a little plug to Little Poker, because several of you were asking for me to do a new episode of Prominence Poker. It's something I enjoy doing every now and then. Even though it's obviously not a game that the majority of my subscribers care for, I still like doing it. So that's coming up on Friday. Should be a lot of fun. But yes, I definitely would have liked to have seen the casino added to Grand Theft Auto Online, and I think one of the reasons why they didn't do it was perhaps for legal reasons, because of the fact that you would have to exchange real currency for, Grand Theft Auto currency in gambling, and gambling's kind of something that's frowned upon by a lot of countries like the U.S. I think even in other parts of the world, online gambling where you're involving real money is kind of an issue. But they kind of sort of do that in prominence poker, though, because while it is a free-to-play game, you can also buy chips with real money. So I don't know. I mean, then again, Rockstar could have been afraid that there might have been a way to glitch it or exploit it to where people could have made ridiculous amounts of money. But at the same time, I would have personally very much liked for there to have been the casino available in Grand Theft Auto Online, so we could play Texas Hold'em, 7-card strut, 5-card draw, or any other games like the slot machines, blackjack, roulette, the typical games you would see at casinos. Of course, most of the games, as the rule goes, the house always wins, aka Rockstar. So it could be geared towards, Rockstar using it as another excuse for them to drain our Mace bank accounts. That was always my fear regarding a casino update. Except for poker, which you're playing like against other players. That way you would be only taking their money most likely. Okay, so thank you very much, William. Also agree that we would enjoy having a casino actually in Grand Theft Auto Online, except for a building that says casino on it. It would be a lot of fun, even if it did end up, leaving some of us broke and having to sell cars just to satisfy our gambling addict, our little addiction to the casino. All right, so we're down to one more, and I think I got everybody. Let me double check the list real quick before we continue. Let's see. I think I got everybody. Okay, I think I did. All right. Okay. Appreciate you guys waiting for me on that one. Our final submission for this Discuss video regarding fixing Grand Theft Auto Online goes to Young Sinatra off of YouTube. Fix the fucking prices of the DLC items. It's just so fucking stupidly expensive for the fix of the amount of money shark cards give. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the consensus, that the prices need to be tweaked. Either, like Sedan said, both things. He said either the prices should be lowered on the content currently in the game, not just a temporary sale or discount, but just flat out lowered, or prices, like everyone else mentioned, for doing jobs and heists, etc., should be increased. So, yeah, I think everyone submitted some pretty good ideas for fixing Grand Theft Auto Online. And in conclusion, I would like to add my 2 cents for what that's worth. Let me pull Sinatra down. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Little editing on my part, little faux pas with the OBS. Did one thing before I should have done the other. But in conclusion, I would say what I would like to see in Grand Theft Auto Online to fix it, so to speak, would be the server issues. Now, Rockstar does not have dedicated servers, and this makes a really big issue for a lot of us that try to get into a public lobby in order to do these various jobs that we can do only in a public lobby, and you get kicked. And this happens to me a lot, especially when there's a high traffic of people playing Grand Theft Auto Online, and I get tired of it. It's annoying. And I think with as much money that Rockstar and Take-Two have made off of Grand Theft Auto Online through shark cards, through sales of Grand Theft Auto 5 on last gen, current gen, and PC, I think that they could easily afford dedicated servers, which would make it a lot smoother for those of us playing their game. I mean, we take the time to play their game. We're fans of their game. Some of us even spend money on shark cards, and that's going into their pockets. And they can at least return the love by giving us better servers to play on. So there you go. That is all the submissions for fixing Grand Theft Auto Online. Thank you once again to everybody by YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook for submitting your ideas for fixing Grand Theft Auto Online. And it would be nice if Rockstar or somebody at Rockstar actually came across this video and took some of these ideas, or all these ideas, because they were all very good ideas, seriously. And, we love the game. Even though we get frustrated from time to time, especially with the shark card grabbing, as Chris mentioned, and the researches I've talked about once or twice in previous videos. But, yeah, I still love Grand Theft Auto. I just wish that some things would be tweaked and improved. And good job, guys. Good job. I liked everybody's ideas. And like Phoenix said, everything. Sometimes I wish you guys would be a little bit more specific because, some things don't need to be fixed. Some things are good. Not everything's bad about the game. If it was, we wouldn't play it. Speaking of bad games, yes, that leads me to our transition. Let me pull this down. Next discuss episode will be, in your opinion, worst video games, or the worst video game you ever played. So it could be a new game on current gen. It could be a last gen game. It could be an arcade game. Any video game throughout your history of playing video games, what has been, in your opinion, your worst video game experience? Or your worst video games? The games you just absolutely hated for whatever rhyme or reason, whether it was really difficult or the story was crap, the characters were terrible, there was glitches, bugs, you couldn't even play the game because of loading screen issues, like with Watch Dogs. People still leave comments on my Watch Dogs videos about that issue, and it's been 3 years now, I think. But anyways, let me know below in the comments section via Twitter or Facebook your worst video game or worst video game experiences, or video games that you consider to be the worst that you've played. Doesn't matter what console, even on PC. So let me know, and what's the story behind that? Like, why was that the worst video game experience for you? Or why was this game so bad? And you have till this coming Friday. The deadline is July 14th, this Friday, to submit your worst video game or worst video games, in your opinion, because of your obvious personal experience. Not because, you heard somebody say, well, according to my review, this is the worst video game ever. No, I want your opinion. Your opinion, because of a game you spent money on, a game you tried to play, whether on, like Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, or Nintendo, or PC, etc. Why is that game, are those games the worst games in your opinion? So that's coming up next week in our Discuss series, the worst video games.